Hello and a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world, and welcome to today's Postgrad Insight session. Today is an accommodation special brought to you by Fresh and specifically about living with Fresh in their properties all over the UK, dotted from south all the way up to the most northern parts of the UK. If you have any questions today or any concerns, we have a chat or a Q&A facility. You can pop it in there. If you do pop your questions in the Q&A, we will endeavour to get round to your questions during the session towards the end. So the 10-15 minutes towards the end, where we will be giving you more details about the £2,000 bursary that Postgrad Solutions offer as well. So please tune in for the duration of the call to find out more info on that. Reminder, it is live, so if you are watching on Facebook or you're watching on LinkedIn today, please pop it in the Messenger facility. We will reach out to you directly after the webinar. But for now, I'd like to introduce you to Heather White. She'll be taking you through the next 30 to 40 minutes, and I'll be back towards the end. Heather, over to you.
Hi everyone, and thanks for having us. Today we just want to talk to you about living with Fresh and about how we kind of look after student wellbeing. So today you'll hear from myself, Emily Williams, who is a general manager at one of our properties, and also Minnie Chen, who is our partnership marketing executive. Over to Emily.
Hi everyone. So my name's Emily. I'm a general manager in Fresh, and I am based at our Swansea property called Teenant. So thank you for joining us today. We are a dedicated private housing provider offering purpose-built student accommodation across the UK and Ireland, with a portfolio of 65 student properties in total. And as previously mentioned, we are across all sort of cities and university towns. So while our properties vary in size, style, and location, the one thing that definitely remains consistent in our properties is our commitment to helping every student find a place they can truly call a home or a second home. So whether you're looking for something that is city centre or something a little quieter, we definitely have something that will fit your lifestyle preference and needs with us. Next slide, please. Just looking at the types of rooms that we offer across our properties, we understand that every student, especially from a general manager perspective, that all students are looking for something different when it comes to their living spaces. So our properties offer a variety of room types, from en-suites to studios. One thing all of our rooms do have in common is that they all come with a private bathroom, because let's be honest, no one really wants to share a bathroom, so that is great. If you are looking for something a little bit more social, we have en-suites, which are a great option. So you'll have your own bedroom, your own bathroom, with a sharing communal kitchen and living area with your flatmates. So it is a great opportunity then to meet new people and create great friendships. For those who prefer more privacy and independence, we do offer studio rooms as well, which offer self-contained spaces with their own kitchenettes, which give you everything you need in one private setting. So it doesn't matter what your preference is, we're confident that within Fresh, you'll find the room that suits you. Next slide, please. So as a postgraduate student, we know how important it is, how important your learning environment is. And that's why our properties are designed to support your academic success. So we have many designated spaces to help you focus and thrive while you live with us at Fresh. Many of our locations feature on-site social spaces. Some also include study spaces and quiet study spaces. So these kind of spaces will give you the flexibility to step away from perhaps your living environment, the comfort of your room and your living space, your kitchen, to study individually or with your peers, or without the need to travel to campus or to a library. So you kind of get that separation within the property. So whether you're preparing for deadlines, you've got group work, or you just need a change of scenery, Fresh can ensure that we've got the right environment for you to stay productive and balanced. Next slide, please. So not only do Fresh offer fantastic study spaces, we also provide vibrant social spaces designed to help you relax, connect, build friendships and community. These areas, we often host in-house events run by our site team, so the likes of myself, giving you the opportunity to either unwind on your own terms, or you can join in with something fun and social that's going on at the property. Just to give you a bit of an idea of the kind of events that we do run at site, we have anything from pizza nights, we have therapy dog sessions, paint and sip evenings, game nights, quizzes, swap shops, yoga classes. So whether you're looking to meet new people, try something new, there's always something going on in our properties. Next slide, please. So at every one of our properties, you'll find a fantastic residence team. There is always someone around who can offer support or help. We're dedicated to making your experience truly feel like a home from home. Definitely speaking first-hand experience, we definitely put our residents at the heart of everything we do, and our teams are here to support you every step of the way of your university journey. So it could be anything from day-to-day needs like collecting parcels, you've lost a key, or just being there for a chat over a cup of tea. Our team is always ready to lend a listening ear. Many of our staff as well across our properties are mental health first aid trained, because we do understand how important your living and study environment is to your overall well-being. You'll often see the site team getting involved in events too. So they could be there at your pizza nights, your yoga sessions, or even if you just want a friendly chat over what the latest Netflix documentary is on TV. They're a big part of the community that we build within our properties. We're also very proud to have experts in their fields. So we have fantastic skilled maintenance technicians and dedicated housekeepers to ensure your home is always clean, comfortable, well looked after. And if there is anything that needs fixing, whether it's a quick repair, something in a social space, we have our maintenance technicians on site to help with all of those aspects of living with us, so that you don't have to worry about it. Next slide, please. So just a little bit of a recap of what we've discussed already. Kind of choosing fresh means so much more than just having a bed and a roof over your head. You're joining a vibrant, welcoming community with all bills and Wi-Fi included. We offer safe and secure homes supported by the residence teams across our properties and our security teams. Our properties are located in central spots across the UK and feature fantastic social spaces with a wide range of events to help you feel connected and supported. We also understand that not everyone can visit in person before moving in or before making that booking with us. So we do offer both in-person and virtual viewings. You just need to reach out to the relevant site team that you're looking to potentially book with, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help on getting you booked in with those viewings. So at Fresh, we are here to make your living experience as smooth, social, and supportive as possible. Like we say, it's more than just accommodation. We really do want to make it your home. Next slide, please. So one of the key things that sets Fresh apart, in my opinion, is our Be programme, which is embedded across all of our student properties. So the Be programme is built around 4 core pillars. So if you just go to the next slide, we should be able to see those. So we've got be active, be social, be connected, and be supported. We know that students are looking for more than just a room. We know that students are looking to feel part of a community, and that they're part of something that supports their overall well-being. And Fresh offers just that. Through a wide range of events and initiatives, our Be programme is designed to help you stay healthy, make friends, feel part of a community, and access the support you need. We understand that moving somewhere new can feel super daunting, and I've seen it firsthand. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing someone so nervous on their first sort of weeks moving into the building, to then seeing them blossom and be part of like a really big sort of social circle and getting involved in the events. So that is really, really rewarding. So our properties are set up to help settle you in, succeed socially, and hopefully it truly feels like home. And that is everything from me.
Sorry, just getting myself off mute. Yeah, so just to continue what Emily was saying about Be, so yeah, the Be programme is something that we're really proud of at Fresh. We understand that students obviously away from home for the first time from their parents, and we really want to make sure that like their well-being is kind of our number one priority. It's all about giving students meaningful ways to engage with their fellow students and also the residence team, and making sure that we're absolutely taking care of their well-being. Over the year, we run hundreds of Be events with obviously full participation from all students. It's really important to us that there's something for everyone, so it's really varied. So whether you like a big party or much quieter events, we've kind of got everything covered. Activities include fitness and wellness sessions. Lots of our sites run running clubs, yoga classes, lots of social like mixer events and community building events, so things like pool tournaments and quizzes are always really popular. And we obviously have lots of international students at our properties as well, and we like to join in their celebrations with events like Holi, Eid, Chinese New Year is always a really popular one for us as well. We also want to make sure that our students feel really supported during those stressful times, so we make sure that we're helping them with revision support during exam time and things like that. So our events are really inclusive, really relevant and adaptable to all of our student needs. It's also really important to us that students are getting exactly what they need from the programme as well. So rather than just putting on any old event, we actively seek their feedback, because obviously all demographics in different properties are different and students' needs and wants are different. So actively trying to get their feedback on a regular basis and hosting events that they're really interested in. And we know also that the postgrad experience is also slightly different from that of, for example, a first year student. So postgrads obviously have more academic pressure from increased workload and fewer opportunities to connect, because obviously their time is taken up. So Be really supports that. So we make sure that we've got flexible kind of low pressure ways to engage. So such as hosting in like drop-in activities or activities that they can access at a time to suit them. We also make sure that there's some like quiet and focused events that's more suited to their lifestyle. And I will pass over to Minnie just to talk to you about our international student offering.
Sorry, Minnie's unable to join us this afternoon, so I thought I would touch on this on her behalf. So she sends her apologies. But I'm Charlotte. I'm one of the marketing managers at Fresh. And one of the things we really pride ourselves on is our international student offering. Obviously, we understand that it's a scary time moving over to another country, and especially a place that you might not have visited before. So one of the things that we really pride ourselves on, that Emily and Heather have already touched upon, is how we help every student, no matter where they're from, feel welcome. And we have a range of properties all over the country with multiple residence teams. And we enjoy taking part in your celebrations throughout the years, whether that's Spring Festival, Diwali, Thanksgiving. We really pride ourselves on that inclusive side of things and making sure you always feel at home, even if, say, the city around you is not like that. Most recently, we took part in Dragon Boat Festival as well, which was really popular, especially in our Glasgow properties. So it's something that really touches our hearts, and certainly with our residence teams having the multilingual side of things to make sure that you feel most at home for everyone. But I think that's everything from me. I think we can move over onto some questions.
But one of the questions that's coming to begin with is, are there flexible payment plans or financial support options available for students booking with Fresh? Now, I know the answer to this, and I know there'll be many accommodation providers because, it's very competitive. But what makes it different at Fresh, and what makes it more, relaxed with Fresh? Heather, if I could start with you, and then obviously we can navigate our way through to Emily from an international perspective.
It's probably Emily that's going to be the best one to answer this from a general manager point of view.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So from my point of view, we would look at the payment structure. So generally we follow a quarterly payment. So for every term of the academic year. That being said, we do offer monthly payments for anyone that is on a scholarship. So if you have got a scholarship, all we would need is for you to provide that evidence to us beforehand, just so we can get that payment plan finalised ahead of you moving into the property.
Excellent. And in terms of how students go about kind of applying for that, because that's always it's always the last thing I find that students do from an accommodation perspective. They get their application for their university. From an international perspective, certainly, they then go, right, I'm going to find my scholarship. I'm then going to go and study that. Oh God, I've got nowhere to live when I'm there. How quick is that process, and how quickly can it be turned around? Because there might be people that are moving in September in 2 months' time, 3 months' time, that need to get the ball rolling now. But does it take that long, or can it be done sooner?
I would say it's a fairly quick process. So from the point of submitting an application online, we look to get that finalised for anybody within 5 days. So that's from the point of booking, receiving all the guarantor information that we need, any upfront or deposit payments as well, and also countersigning it on our ends and getting that booking finalised. So we allow 5 days, and you should get that done within 5 days.
And what are the parameters in terms of starting? Because there will be people that will join in January. A question's been asked about that. There will also be people that will go, I want to start for a November intake at university, and let's say in Swansea, or it might be in Exeter or Bath. What are the parameters around that? Does it need to be a typical start date, or can it be whatever your intake date is?
So I think, speaking for the property that I work in Swansea, if we have a generalised start date for September, anyone then applying after that date, their contract would start on the nearest Friday.
Yeah.
So after September, if you are looking to move in the October and November, and based on the availability at the properties, I'm sure that they'd be able to accommodate a later start date. Some properties, not all, again, depending on availability and the sort of leasing lengths at the site, it would be something that you would need to inquire directly about for the specific site. We will have some sites that maybe do offer a January start, and you're able to get that booked in ahead of time. But that, again, would be something you'd need to reach out to the individual property
Yeah.
about for their availability.
This might be a question for all of you, actually. When it comes to the accommodation and the properties themselves, build to rent now is such a big market across the UK. What makes your property so unique and different? Is it the fact that you're able to take feedback, and then obviously a lot of your properties are built purely for postgraduate purposes, some of them. Is that what makes it so unique? Emily, if I start with you again, and then we'll move forward from there.
Yes, I think so. I think kind of what we've touched upon in the sort of webinar today is that our residents really are at the forefront of everything that we do. We really do listen to our residents, and we recognise who we're getting into our properties, and we tailor our approach, our events, sort of like our room structures and who we're pairing people up with, and really listening to feedback across all platforms. So that's, your student crowd, your Google. We really take an active approach to our feedback and build on that as well. So I think that's what makes our properties thrive with our students.
One of the questions come in, and please come in whenever you feel like, Heather or Charlotte, is please can postgraduate students come with their dependents or their family? I think that's such an important question. I think in such an accessible world now where you can kind of move with your family, and it's such a welcoming world as well. Is that an option for students? Heather, if I can start with you at this point.
No, not at our properties. So it is just they are just student properties. So you wouldn't be able to bring any.
That's okay. Okay, that's fine. And in terms of the options for students, there will be students that are going, I've got my three choices. I've got, let's say, Exeter, Cardiff, and Aberdeen. They're my three choices. When it gets to that stage of looking, how early can they look? Because, like I said, typically it's always the last thing that someone looks for. And I don't know why. I've done it. We've all been there. But can they kind of reserve and kind of go, yeah, that's where I want to go if I get that position, if I apply for that and I enroll? Is that something they can do, or does it typically have to be once they've enrolled?
No, not necessarily. So you can sort your accommodation out whenever you like. So if, for example, I'm based in Swansea, if we've got individuals who are considering Swansea, it may not be their first or second choice, they could book with us. We do have booking terms and conditions that you can find for all our properties across our website. But generally, you can book your accommodation. We don't need any sort of proof of enrolment from universities or anything like that. So you can just go onto the website, inquire with the site team. They can help you find the best sort of room suited for the individual that's inquiring, and sort of walk you through that process. But you definitely don't need to leave it until the very last minute. That's something that you can definitely get booked in ahead of time.
Heather, if I can talk to you about the Be Wellbeing Programme again, because I thought that the slides, and I talked to you off air before we became live, how impressive of a service that is. It's a well-established service now that has been around for many years, that many students that we've spoken to before and after their studies have said Fresh have been brilliant with it. presumably it really helps international students bed in to the UK because you're fitting into their culture rather than the other way around, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it must be really daunting to come and study in another country. And yeah, we find it a really good way for international students to make friends, both with students that come from their own country, but also like domestic students as well. So find it a really good way to help foster those friendships and relationships. And yeah, we always make sure that international students are always really keen to kind of share their cultural events with us. So we learn a lot from them, and obviously share that knowledge out with all our sites to make sure that we're offering something that really resonates with our international students. But they also, our international students also really like kind of learning and getting involved in the things that in the events that are kind of more like prevalent for domestic students. So for example, in October, we always do pumpkin carving. It always goes down really well. In China, for example, that's not a traditional kind of event, but they're really keen to get involved in that. So yeah, we're kind of all learning from each other, and yeah, making sure that the Be programme provides something for everyone. And yeah, just kind of a really nice experience all around for everyone.
And it goes into the mental health well-being again, in the sense that it does stretch to, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I have heard from you guys before that it can be as simple as you're in the property and you're anxious and you don't want to leave the property, and there is a portal that they can log into and they can go, right, I've got a problem with my studio, or there's something wrong, please can you come and help? And you've got site managers within the building that will be there as soon as they can. Even little things like that really help a student feel at home from home, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it always it's just really great how like the site teams really, like, over a year of, or even longer, of having the students, they really kind of take them under their wing and really look after them. And yeah, it's always really lovely to see the kind of friendships and relationships form with the site team and the students. So yeah, it's definitely a home from home experience. And we do have the Fresh Resident app as well. So like you say, if there is a problem, so if they've got like a problem with the room or a question, they can log anything like that, maintenance requests, on the app, and someone will see to that straight away. So that's kind of that worry gone. We also, at the majority of our sites, offer, as part of the Be programme, the Student Assistance Programme. So it's access to a free 24-hour confidential helpline for all residents, so they can access a whole host of help and advice, anything from like free counselling and emotional support, like any finance or budgeting advice, or any kind of general wellbeing guidance. And that's available anytime, and can makes a real difference to anyone that's struggling a little bit. And obviously we recognise that everyone needs a little bit of extra help every now and again, and that's kind of an additional support that we've put in, just to make sure that that's really covered for us.
I don't normally like doing this, but I want to talk about the locations because I know you've got many locations across the UK. But Heather, if you could just bring up the slide again, if we can go back a few slides, because a few questions have come up about, do you guys offer accommodation closer to the Uni of West England in Bristol or Aberdeen, or let's say in Higher Wycombe? Presumably they're studying in West London or they're at studios. How important is it that you are dotted everywhere, whether it be in the UK or Ireland? And that really opens up the different opportunities for students to come with you guys. Emily, that might be more of a you question actually from an international level.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the most frequently asked questions for anyone coming to Swansea from overseas. It's kind of like, what are locations like? And for us, I can only speak for Swansea, having only worked in Swansea. So, I mean, our location, we are city centre. We are very lucky to also offer the beach. You kind of get the best of everything in Swansea. You are central, but you are a walk to the beach. And I think Fresh does a really good job of locating their properties in really sought after areas. So they're always sort of like student cities. There's lots going on. what's appealing to students. There's always something going on around you. So whilst you get like a great experience in your buildings, you're surrounded by lots going on outside. And I think that is also a huge selling point for our properties, is that we think everything through, and we just make sure that students are having, you know, the best of everything.
Yeah, of course. And I think that's important, isn't it? I think, Heather, can you talk about the wider range and why those properties are chosen in certain cities? Is it because, like Emily's just mentioned, that they're situated very close to the city centre or the university, or it might be that they are deliberately positioned outside of the city centre, so they're perhaps a little bit quieter in some properties?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a whole host of properties in lots of locations all across the country. And yeah, they really, like Emily said, they're really close to all amenities. So, you know, you're never far away from like your local supermarket or like, you know, your bars and restaurants, and obviously the uni. So we make sure that all our properties are kind of in really close proximity to the university. So most are in walking distance. You know, some of them are like a 5-minute bus ride or whatever. But yeah, in most instances, in real close proximity to your university and absolutely everything you need. And then in terms of where we locate ourselves, we are in most cities now, and in a lot of cities we've got numerous properties. So you know, a lot of the cities are particularly popular. So
Oh, Heather, I think you've muted yourself, sorry, by accident.
sorry, I'm back.
Only for about 5 seconds, don't worry.
Yeah, so yeah, in some of our cities, obviously with them being quite popular, we have numerous different properties which cater for like different budgets, different wants and needs. But yeah, you'll find in every property that we have lots of like amenities, social spaces, that kind of thing. So yeah, there's something for everyone in most locations now.
Emily, can I just pick your brain? I mean, I know you're situated in Swansea, and that's great. A really popular student accommodation area, student area anyway. Um, what is it you find from a student perspective that they're most looking for when they come to the properties? Is it that Be Wellbeing Programme kind of aspect where they're looking after their mental health a little bit, or is it safety? Is it the style of the accommodation, or how close? What actually is it that you put your finger on that actually most students really want this?
I think the main one, but in Swansea is definitely ease. Ease of sort of the amenities around. So people don't want to have to be traveling far, as Heather said, you know, to the supermarket, to the universities. You've got everything on your doorstep. But it's also, as Heather touched upon, it's really sort of emphasizing that whilst we are sort of city centre, you do get that quiet space in our buildings, and we can offer you the best of both. And I think it's really sort of just ease of amenities. You've got your supermarket, you know, how far are you having to travel to the universities? Can you get there by bike? Do you have to take a bus? Can I walk there? It's about so that students can really sort of like map out what their lifestyle is going to look like before they move into our buildings, and it's really creating that picture for them. And I would say the other sort of important factor, especially that I've experienced, is, you know, the kind of community that we have within our buildings, and kind of what it is that we're offering. Like we said, we're not just offering, it's not just a room, you know, what events are we doing? Can people have friends? Can they have visitors come over and share that experience with them? And these are sort of, again, emphasizes that students are looking for that sort of social and community aspect within the properties.
Okay. Heather, if I can kind of give you the final word here, in terms of what a student needs to do then, to apply, whether they're looking for September this year, September next year. Reminder, there will be a lot of people watching this over the next 2 months, I feel, that will be applying for Chevening scholarships and Marshall scholarships in the UK that will be looking for next September. What do they need to do? Where do they need to head towards in terms of website, and what incentive is there currently for students to go on and apply using Fresh?
Yeah, so they need to visit thisisfresh.com, and then when you arrive at the homepage, there is like a place where you would type in the university that you're looking for, or the city, or there's a drop down and you can see all the cities that we're in. and then that will then take you to the individual city page, and it'll show you the properties that are available. There are lots of incentives across various different properties, but it does vary by property. So I would just recommend having a little look, and everything's like really, all the offers and things are really clear on the individual property website.
Absolutely, of course. And thank you for that, Heather. Really appreciate it. Emily, thank you for your time as well. It's been a great session. Anyone who wants to know more information about our bursaries and scholarships, please head over to postgrad.com. We've got a scholarship and funding section on there. We've also got more information about our £2,000 bursary that students can apply for. Now, anyone watching a webinar 3 times over the next 12 months will have the opportunity to put their name in a hat to win that. And we have got some great examples over the last year. In actual fact, we actually had a winner who was watching the last Fresh webinar, I think a couple of years ago, Heather, when me and you last spoke, that actually won a bursary, which is fantastic. So it goes to show, if you are watching, it's every opportunity. So thank you for watching. Please head over to thisisfresh.com, like Heather mentioned. Any questions, webinars at postgradsolutions.com. And Emily, Heather, and Charlotte in the background as well. I really appreciate your time, and thank you for joining. Take care.